Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed.
Of looking like a fool?
Why pay over $100?
Star Wars fans love random side characters.
Get in the spotlight.
Imagine everyone loves your very own
GLUP Shittos.
The exciting new way to make
countless randos throughout every Star Wars movie.
It takes so long to make.
They're fun to watch and easy to grow. And just look at the savings when you do it at home versus the store.
Amazing.
But you can join the show now with the fast and easy way to make
Your very own GLUP Shitto.
Do you spend a fortune on all this just so you can break your back?
Look.
You try it.
People's love of GLUP Shittos.
Forget it.
How would you like to grow
The instant
characters the fandom has come to call GLUP Shittos?
I couldn't believe it. The only thing I've ever been able to grow is wings.
Everyone's face will light up when you
Your own GLUP Shitto.
into a work of art.
I'm going to show you how to grow.
The fast and easy way.
many different varieties, many dramatic color contrasts, and
Get ready to discover the revolutionary new way.
A phrase that originated from this post.
You get the complete
the patented process to cook
and recipe guide for
and just add water.
From this to this in a fraction of the time.
And it doesn't take very long to get this way either.
It's that easy.
Really work.
Saving you valuable time and money.
Sound incredible?
Well, now you can. Don't change that channel.
Oh hey, I'm Hari. I'm one of the co-stars of an ongoing, fan-made feline Star Wars story. It's called FRUUT HARI. Feel free to watch the first 3 episodes if you haven't already. This video is part of a series where I take you behind the scenes of a 4th episode. 2 episodes ago I showed you how this miniature set was created, also the speeder bike. And in this one, we're gonna dive into some character design and development. You'll get a peek at my own personal method of putting together a character. How I grow my own GLUP Shitto. The creation of this Star Wars series is a painstaking process that takes a lot of time and energy. But it's the sort of thing that I never thought that I would be capable of doing, and it's my hope that throughout this series, I can give you the kind of inspiration and ideas that you need to get your own pet project beyond just an idea, to get it out of your head and into reality. This is episode 7 of Feral Filmmaking. Without further ado, let's build a character.
There is currently a vacancy at Camp Greenlake. They help troubled youth build character.
Without that show, I have nothing.
having nothing builds character.
So what the hell do with it?
Bill's character, Mr. Preston.
I was blowing up Bill's character.
There are always a lot of characters.
Well, he's quite a character, huh?
How you feel about that character?
He was quite the character.
And become a character on the show. Become a man.
Where'd he come from? Who is he? How old is he?
Or Krongdar the Destroyer from Klaxon 7.
Pointing at the screen like losing their mind. Oh my god, they brought back Bung Dooble.
Alright, one quick note before we really get going here. For the Feral Filmmaking character design special, we will be creating a foil for my character and to chase after me and Master Fruit.
Foil.
Yeah, let's do it.
1/1000 of an inch thick. A made object. It is a thing for lining all sorts of different pieces of equipment.
Just shy of 250.
Radio interference and other reasons.
No, wrong kind of foil. In storytelling, a foil is a character whose values and traits sharply contrast and contradict that of another character. Today I'm going to create a foil for me, like a Barry or other Barry to Archer.
Could be other Barry.
Because even though I can see Archer's every freaking move, apparently it's impossible to kill that idiot from freaking space.
A constant looming threat and thorn in our sides to keep us looking over our shoulder. Originally, I had different plans for this episode, but this is a wonderful example of how to stay flexible in your pre-production. For further context, I always knew I wanted somebody, a more direct antagonist in the broad scope of the Empire, to be hot on our heels the whole way through to save Master Fruit. Plan A was to design my own Inquisitor. But by the end of the Maul Shadow Lord series, I felt pretty satisfied on Inquisitors, and this show already bears enough similarities to my plot. And though I adhere to the philosophy that while nothing is original, all human effort is unique, I still had the sentiment that we'd seen enough.
Nobody expects the
Imperial
Inquisition.
It just isn't true anymore. Another development that caused me to steer away from the concept of Inquisitors is the fact that the mysterious stranger from episode 3 ended up splitting into 2 characters during the production. Sandy, as she's called, was originally the pilot that dropped us off for an ambush on Tatooine. Intentionally filmed very vaguely from the back, as I had yet to fully flesh out the visual design. As more elements of the helmet or face started to come together, I started to get all kinds of ideas of who this could be starting to come to mind. Much like David Lynch, I'm a firm believer in intuitive creativity. I knew these ideas were important. As they started to weigh a little more in my mind, I became very attracted to some of these, even helping me figure out some of the core themes of my series. It's found family and perceived insignificance, by the way. Island of Misfit Toys, David and Goliath type stuff. The decision that threw the biggest wrench in the operation was the fact that she's now a girl. The previous scene with the pilot was already filmed, ADR'd, and completely edited. I wasn't about to change it, so I split the character in two. The pilot became Paul, and the helmet was repurposed for Sandy. I don't want to spoil too much, though. We'll learn plenty about her in FRUUT HARI 4. So on the docket for today is to design Paul, figure out who he is. For starters, I've already turned him into kind of a writer's mystery box, a la J.J. Abrams. Now, I know those get a bunch of hate online, but hear me out. The Force Awakens set up some solid stuff that could have really paid off if they had stuck with one director for the trilogy. Rian Johnson intentionally took it in a different direction that sort of shat all over those story seeds. The trilogy could have even been okay if they had not tried to course correct again after Rian Johnson, but I digress. The point is, mystery boxes are not the ultimate enemy as long as you're going to be around to see them through. So with all that being said, what did I already know about this character? What had I already established that I need to work with? What was in his mystery box? Well, for one, his name is Paul. Black round helmet. He's a pilot, low morals, vain, and it seems he might have a rather particular preference for Gorman apparel. I think that's plenty to work with. Vain, low morals, pilot? Sounds like a space pirate from an anime. Let's vibe with that. Preference for Gorman attire? I've got the perfect coat. Let's run with that. Earlier on, when he was still an Inquisitor, I was drawing off the Crow visually in my mind. I like the idea of the cat team being chased by somebody represented by a big predatory bird like an owl or a hawk. In real life, we actually live in the desert and it's a legit fear of mine. Hawks be lurking. I think I'd like to keep this element in the design as well, especially now that I'm moving away from the Inquisitor and I won't be battling to differentiate it from the 11th brother. So, a bird-coated space pirate with a taste for the finer things. Great foundation. At this point in the process, I begin to visualize my characters as different Venn diagrams of 3. For example, for Master Fruit, it's Yoda, Baylan Skoll, and good old Chewie. For me, it's Luke Skywalker, Chimere, and Shin Hati. Maybe you're starting to see how it comes together now. With that in mind, Paul's Venn diagram looks something like this. A little Crow the Inquisitor, a little Jod Na Wood, and a little Jango Fett. Our guy sits right there in the middle. Now that he's really starting to come together in my head, let's check out the concept sketch. Alright, so like I said earlier, I knew I had the perfect coat already, so I started off with a set of lapels and a helmet on top. I was gonna do like a wide-brimmed dome, but then I remembered that I had already filmed the back of the helmet, so I couldn't do anything like that. Now, silhouette is very important for an iconic character, so I still wanted it to look like a bird. I added some fluff and ruff with feathers and fur. I'd like some armor plating on his legs and chest, and with this, I think we're ready to jump into costume production.
Welcome to Taekwondo. Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei! Let's talk about your appearance. You think I got where I am today by dressing like Peter Pan over here?
Literally, yes, I do.
You think anybody thinks I'm a loser? Cause I go home to Starla each night? Not a chance. Now, take a look at what I'm wearing. Think anybody wants a roundhouse kick to the face while I'm wearing one of these bad boys?
A hand-knit plush beanie with cat ears from Fruit's Factory?
Not a chance. And now you can get your very own. Go to fruitsfactory.myshopify.com to get yours now. Bow to your sensei!
Hey, Stray Cat, Harry the Housekeeper here. Alrighty, let's take a look at some of the materials that I used to create this guy. Starting with big thick EVA foam, a helmet from the thrift store, 2 cans of navy, 2 cans of chrome, some faux fur, some cheap work gloves, elastics of multiple varieties, feathers, ribbon scrap, and this coat that I made in the costumes episode. Go check that out if you haven't. I went to my first Ren Fair and threw together the coat last minute. First things first, we're gonna paint the visor. After taping off a couple of sections, both for the eyes and just for detail, silver on the underside, and then remove 1 tape layer and do a layer of blue. After that, to ensure that this visor is no longer transparent and looks like metal, we're gonna do a layer of black. Finally, it's ready to take off the tape for the visor. Then we're gonna take a break from that and move on to the collar of the coat, in which I've outlined 8 panels here, panel, on this scrap of faux fur for both the front and back of the collar, and then we will come back to that in just a minute. But for now, let's go back to the mask. I chopped apart a really cheap paintball airsoft mask. I went through several iterations before landing on one that I liked. It's also the closest to my sketch. Took it apart once again and went to paint. I actually ended up changing them to black later. But now back to the fur panels. After carefully cutting out all 8 of them with an X-Acto so not to cut the fur on the other side, I started gluing them down to the collar. Things were looking looking pretty good. I almost regret not going even bigger with this collar, but oh well, I've got upload quotas to meet, so it's back to the helmet. After taking the mesh mask from the airsoft mask and putting it into the helmet visor, I taped off all the sections that I didn't want to end up chrome, and then I'll take it outside to paint. While it's drying, we'll take a detour over to the gloves. These are branded on the back of the hand, so I'm gonna have to cover them with an armor plate. Always be sure to heat the top layer of your EVA foam so that paint sticks to it instead of seeping into it. I cut out some triangle portions before painting both of them navy and then chrome and attaching them both to the back of the hand. Give it a little try on just to see if it fit, and I actually really love how it turned out. Back to the helmet. Now that it is good and painted with a couple of layers, I'm gonna go ahead and peel off all of this tape. Saved one of them just for a live peeling. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Also loving how this turned out, but it does have that brand on the front, and we're gonna have to figure out a way to cover that too. Getting closer to the sketch. For a size reference, I pulled out Sandy's armor that I'd already made previously and cut out a general shape. I then cut out a couple more pads and started arranging them in different ways on top of it, but eventually I decided, I don't know, it was kind of a hat on a hat, didn't like it. So I went ahead and melted the top of this, and then I put down a couple more of these triangle decals. I think I'm enjoying this triangle motif. It goes with the beak. Then I did everything chrome on that chest plate. Back to the helmet visor. I lined up the bird face and drilled a couple of holes where it was going to sit. I accidentally chipped the bird face while I was doing this, so I had to do some emergency paint touch-up, but it turned out just fine. I really love how this is coming together, but I am still going to have to cover up this brand. I do think I'm a little bit lucky on where it sits on the helmet though, because all the birds I'm picturing in my head have this sort of like crown looking thing on their head. So I've also put together something similar. Kudos to the makers of this helmet. I tried nailing it first, and then I tried drilling it, and eventually I had to melt a hole before screwing this crown into the top there. Good job, guys. I covered this nasty bit with the gauge rubber band like you've seen me do in the past, and now this thing is really starting to come to life. Let's take a trip downstairs to his pants. I used EVA foam to make a couple of pads or armor, and then some big fat elastic for a belt, and that same EVA foam for the belt buckle. Now let's move on to his epaulets. As you see here, I've cut out replicas of the epaulets in duct tape and placed them face up, and now I've just started placing feathers all along them. After a layer of that, I put down another layer of duct tape and start gluing another layer of feathers before attaching them to the underside of the actual epaulets. Now, because this man is so obsessed with his fashion and gourmand sensibility, I've decided to craft a little ribbon seal boutonniere thing to adorn his lovely jacket, which is clearly a gourmand jacket. After painting a couple of details on there and slapping it all together, I think we're about ready to try this character on for the first time. I've got a pair of dress shoes that I'll be using, and I plan to cover them with a little strip of pleather to cover the ankles. You don't really see normal shoes in Star Wars. I have to step into the chest plate from the bottom, like a dress. A little difficult to get into, but it worked out just fine. It feels very sturdy. I attempted to put the coat on with the gloves on, but the gloves are too rubbery, so mental note for the future, jacket first, then gloves. It's notably more comfortable than Sandy's costume. Tell you what though, once I had those and the helmet on, I really felt the part. Started to really step into this guy and figure out exactly who he is.
And here I am. Not too shabby for a pirate, huh? Fella cleans up well. Not some sleemo off the streets, but a refined man of taste. You want a piece of me? Put him up. I don't take lightly to being taken advantage of. Last guy to steal from me is 16 feet into a sarlacc pit. You want to be next? 300,000 thread count. You got that right. You don't want to know how many credits. I got a wardrobe worth more than your life. Hey, sticky fingers off the gourmand sill. I'll get you, pretty boy. And your little cat, too. Hey, eyes up here. Hey, where all the blue Twi'leks at, am I right? Huh? Alright, I'll be here all week. Just kidding, I have shit to do, so give me my sweater back. Dance, boy. Hey, look out too slow. Alright, that's enough. That's enough. Get out of here. No, seriously, no? I will kill you.
Oh, brother, this guy is the worst. He's just the worst. Anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process. I myself am very excited to see this guy in action. He seems absolutely horrible. Anyway, stay cool, Street Cat.
Hey, future Harry the housekeeper here. I just wanted to say thank you so much. We crossed 5,000 subs. That is absolutely incredible. I'm gonna keep it coming for you guys. Drop a like, drop a comment. See you next week, Street Cat.